going ready right now.
All right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back with round 2 of RGL 6's Newcomer Season 4. Tonight we have Zed going up against RGL on Ice, going for one of the two semi-final spots that are still left available. Currently in the semifinals, as of now, we have Krusty Migos and College War Crimes in two different brackets. So this game will be deciding who goes on to the semifinals and plays against College War Crimes for that grand finale spot. So, again, we are joined by Spookly tonight. Spookly, how are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing good.
So, for the match tonight, like I said, we have Zed versus RGL on Ice. In terms of maps, I believe, if I am looking at it right now, which I am looking at it right now, for the first map pick, it looks like we have Clear Cut picked by Zed. Then we have Viaduct picked by RGL on Ice. And then for the decider map, we have Process, which would have been picked due to the rest of the map bans. So a very King of the Hill heavy map selection so far. It seems like both of these teams are probably pretty confident on King of the Hill, so...
Oh yeah, very interesting.
Either of these games could really go either way.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I have a feeling there's not a huge difference really when it comes to seeding. I haven't really gotten a chance to like browse logs or anything, but yeah, I think this will definitely be a close one.
In terms of like clear cut specifically, we haven't really seen a whole lot of clear cut stuff. A whole lot of clear-cut maps on the casts. So we'll have to see how that goes. The only match I think we saw was Spork versus, I can't remember who it was that had played. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna @ everybody.
I mean, it is your server.
I can do what I want. Okay, let's make sure that I get this off of the stream returning screen. And you should be seeing what I'm doing through Discord.
Yep, yeah, everything's clear.
Drop knock, how is Spookly sounding? Still a little bit low, or do I need to turn him up more? Honestly, at this point, Spookly, just turn up your own input on Discord.
Yeah, it might be up all the way. Yeah.
Can you turn up your microphone and input on Windows?
I'm not sure.
Windows.
Let me find it. There's something I also have. If I like adjust my TF2 volume for some reason, it affects my microphone sound, so I can just turn it way up.
So, if you remember, way back to, oh, what was it? All the way back, if I bring up the YouTube playlist, go into me videos, all the way back to, I think it was week 2, we had... Nope, it was week 3. Spork versus Household Objects on Clear Cut.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you a lot better.
Yeah.
So yeah, the last time we had seen this map was all the way back in week 3, and that was Spork versus Household Objects. That was it was a decent match. It wasn't as close as I may have liked, but we definitely saw some big bombs, and that's what these towers here are really good for, is just big, deep bombs. So medics beware.
Yeah, especially with the skybox that's just so high, you know, it's really hard to sort of it's easy to create jumps that have never really been seen before, and you have a lot of room for creativity.
Yeah. This is, I mean, one of the big things with this map, like really all maps, is just high ground control is so powerful. Because you have two classes that are able to do massive amounts of damage to large groups of players. The soldiers are being the soldiers, so if they can get control of the enemy's high ground, it'll be really good for them. But alternatively, with the way the roofs are angled, it does make it fairly easy to kick people off of that high ground, so we'll have to see what ends up happening.
Oh yeah, of course.
But like I said, this is going to be, or bound to be, a pretty decent match, considering both of these teams are some of the better teams in the league, or division, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, I appreciate that drop knock.
Dropping it with the clutch. My man.
It ain't shameless self-promotion if you have somebody else do it for you. So we do have RGL on ice, on red, and Zed on the blue team. From going from memory here, we haven't actually seen Zed in any of the casts yet, I don't believe. So this is their first appearance on stream, or on this stream specifically. For RGL on ice, Yosemite is definitely quite a power player when it comes to demo. And I'm pretty sure Court and Rose, I want to say, are two more really strong players on that team. So we'll have to kind of see who shows up and sort of what happens here, but
I think if this is there's someone else that I know about named Rose. And they play Pyro, so I'd be very interested to see if we can get some off classes. But I don't know. Probably not the same person.
okay, you've just gone a lot quieter for some reason.
Oh yeah, am I better now?
Yes.
Yeah, I was sort of not facing my mic.
Yeah, maybe, you know, like, speak into the microphone.
Hello.
Okay, maybe not that closely. We're not trying to get ASMR in here.
Yeah, ASMR TF2 casting.
Sub for Spookly ASMR. Maybe I can make some money that way.
Who's to say that hasn't happened yet?
I'm sorry to hear that, Drop Knock.
Yeah, dude, wrist injuries, that's gotta suck.
I've fractured my wrist before.
Yeah, I actually, I was getting really close to, like, developing tendonitis at one point. Just,
Developing
just
what?
From, like, just from tendonitis, just from exercise.
Oh, developing
And,
what?
and I think that, it was mainly just I corrected, like, form stuff and just worked on that. But yeah, wrist pain, it's not a joke, it really hurts. Especially since you use, like, obviously your wrists and hands every day.
Yeah. That's not what I want. I have so many different things open. This is hard to, like, manage what I'm trying to do. Okay, so this game should be getting started fairly shortly here. Hopefully. So, Spookly, what are you kind of hoping to see for Clear Cut specifically?
Yeah, clear cut. Obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing some of those very, very high bombs. Seeing some of those sacks. Seeing a lot of soldier action, really. Maybe seeing some flank plays. Maybe just some people like, for example, like if you hide in like, there's so many good places to hide on this map. Like if you, for example, like hide in like the garages. Like if you hide, there's one area, sort of on like the little ramp over there. That's really, really good for hiding. And also, like, I don't know, it's just a very dynamic map. You kind of got to keep your eyes in the sky. Very, very high skybox as well.
Yeah, another thing about the map is it is very wide, so you have a lot of room to work with on kind of a horizontal axis to try and make flank plays and other sort of kind of cheeky plays of that nature.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I think the biggest thing is going to be the massive skybox and just the huge potential for not just soldier bombs, but even for demos to go in deep as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you get that flash, like, yeah, that's something you gotta look out
for. I know from personal experience that a flying demo man, with the downer momentum you get, you can sticky sink straight onto people and do like almost 200 damage just instantly. And you just kind of wipe them out and there's nothing left. Because I think stickies kind of on average can do like around 80 damage. So times by 2, that's 160, I think.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the middle of that.
And 160 is enough to one-shot half of the classes on the map. Unless they have full overheal, which for scouts I believe is 185. The medic can't really get overheal, but still, that's a lot of damage. Okay, and we are getting underway. Let's follow Mailman to mid first. I don't really know what to expect from Zed, as I haven't actually seen them before, but I know RGL on Ice is quite a strong team. Looks like we are getting kind of a deep bomb going on early. D-Square getting in, but Court all the way behind. This could be really, really good. Oh, and he does get the medic!
Nice.
What a play, and that's what I'm talking about those deep bombs in the flanks, just immediately going all the way in, wrapping around, getting the med, and essentially helping his team to get that mid fight. And RGL on Ice is going to walk away with the first cap of this round here.
Yeah, that just shows, like, gotta keep your eyes in the sky or else you could just completely destroy a mid.
Yeah, this is one of those maps that you can really take advantage of, I guess the old adage, if I'm using that word correctly, of TF2 players don't look up. Fizzy going in again, it looks like he is going to get spotted, but he does get one rocket onto the medic. Unfortunately, it's not quite enough. Eru is going to use, and with only 3 players up for the side of Zed, they're not really going to be able to do a whole lot. If they can get this medic, though, that's going to be really good for RGL on Ice. But K-Dubs is playing it safe and just building in spawn with his scouts. So they could have a very strong push back here. About 1 minute now of cap time for RGL on Ice. They only have another 2 to go, but this looks like it's going to be an uber push coming out from Zed. Which, if standings and the fact that they made it to playoffs is anything to go off of, they could definitely get a capture here very easily. And with Yosemite going down, that's going to be a lot of the players that are just kind of falling. And as I say that, never mind, none of them fall. Only one of them goes down, and Court in behind again. This is definitely a player we need to watch out for, although it looks like he is going to not even trade with Fizzy.
Yeah, looks to be pretty experienced. Look at that strange count.
Oh, Eru does go down, and I think that was the Uber drop as well, so that's going to be good for Zoe and for the rest of Zed, but RGL on Ice just coming in, like, they don't need no medic. They're a strong, independent Sixes team.
Just those DM warriors.
They managed to hold it off. Now, Zed did get the cap. They only got about 40 seconds off the clock, though, but it's something, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Rose going in. He is going to get onto K-Dubs, just very narrowly missing out on the kill. Court is going to be healed up. Megan, I believe, is taking the high ground, and that's going to be good for Zed, is that they just kind of collapse onto RGL and Ice and force them out. RGL and Ice only with a minute to go now as Zed takes the capture, having 2:10 on the clock. They're going to need to hold this point. Both teams do have full Uber, so we'll have to see what happens. It looks like RGL and Ice is going to be going in. Oh, and a nice air shot from Zoe onto D-Squared. The Uber does come out from RGL and Ice. It's going to be coming out from Zed shortly after. And with the players of RGL and Ice dying here, looks like Zed is going to be able to hold this point.
Ooh, that scout on that medic. Not looking good.
Unfortunately, doesn't quite get it, and
oh my God.
Zed essentially gets wiped.
Yeah, one more shot would have done it.
They're going to have a massive Uber advantage here, about 60%, so they're probably going to be able to hold this point and clinch out this round. Oh, poo. Oh, these stickies could be big, but unfortunately he goes down just a little bit too soon. And Yosemite getting a ton of kills and a ton of damage, with his soldiers being Court and D-Squared to clean up the rest of the kills in Garage. Definitely good teamwork there. Looks like Regu is keeping his eyes in the sky.
Yeah,
oh, and at 96%, K-Dubs goes down, and that's going to be the round. I kind of want to follow Court to this mid here, see what he ends up doing if he tries to go for that same bomb again.
Oh yeah, I mean...
Looks like he is, and nobody sees him. He's going to get the health pack. He's going to get all the way in behind.
Oh, that's not good.
And on to K-Dubs again!
Also gets the soldier. Oh my gosh.
Got the soldiers well. He does go down, but that's going to be enough for his team to kind of collapse in and kill the rest of the stragglers as they don't have any heals, and they get the second mid off of the backs of Court with the same exact play twice in a row. You can't let that happen. How does the saying go? Fool me once, shame on... How does it go?
I know what you're talking about, I think.
Like...
Here, I'll Google it real quick.
I think it's fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you, or... something of that nature. Shame on you, shame... I don't know. But either way, RGL and Ice is still cleaning up all the kills they need. They've got another 50 or 40 seconds off of the clock here. And both teams do have full Uber, but with Zed having to initiate first, unless their soldiers are able to force that Uber, which it doesn't look like they are as D-Squared gets the kill, RGL and Ice is going to have the better Uber. And as long as they're able to keep their players up, Yosemite does go down, so that's going to be a big damage dealer dead. But with D-Squared on the blue roof and Court coming in from the skies, it doesn't look like it's going to quite be enough. And it looks like Zed is probably going to get this. And with, oh, Fizzy just missing a few rockets there. That could have been huge, but unfortunately just one rocket missed, and it's all for naught. I think that was a shred alert taunt we saw on the roof. Ubers are pretty even here. Zed does have a little bit of an advantage, but as we've seen in the past, about a 10% advantage doesn't really amount to much. And especially when you're the defending team, you're not going to want to really aggress on that. Because usually you end up just getting punished for it. Ooh, Mailman with a sticky trap gets a 4-man kill and gets the Uber drop. Court trying to get into salvage and just gets juggled by the scouts with their scatter gun. Obese indeed. Wow.
Yeah, that is 4K with a sticky trap. That's crazy.
You don't really see that all that often. Oh, that would just be salt in the wound if it was. Both soldiers coming in for a double bomb, and it looks like they might be able to get the medic. They didn't get the medic, but they did get the force. The soldiers are still alive. RGL and Ice is just building in spawn, and with Court and D-Squared now going down, that was the sack attempt. It did sort of work. They did get the drop, or not the drop, but the force. And Mailman setting his stickies back up again in the same spot. Yosemite going in deep with one of his soldiers. Definitely well played. Looks like they're going to be able to push those Zed players right the way out. But Mailman does get a sticky kill onto Rose. Ragu goes down to Fizzy. And with one scout being left alive, Eru is not safe, at least not yet. Okay, so Zed is sitting at about 50 seconds here, although RGL and Ice is sitting at 125, but they do have the point. But possibly not for long as Zed is coming in for a push. Fizzy goes down, the Uber does get used. Mailman is going into Garage, the players are trying to get sandwiched, and the players of RGL and Ice managed to keep everybody alive and back out. So with Fizzy being dead, they could re-aggress off this now that that Uber's faded. But they're going to be going in with their own Uber instead. Doesn't look like Yosemite quite got flashed there. But their players are kind of getting separated, and half of them have been taken out with Zoe being behind. But the rest of the players for RGL and Ice are able to collapse on these blue people quite well. Yosemite in a bit of a 1v1 situation. Yosemite does get Zoe, and Arrow looks like he is hopefully... Oh... That's unfortunate. You think you're gonna get out, and boom, Crusader's crossbow right to the bum.
It's always the crossbow, too.
Yeah. It's always the crossbow that gets the really dumb medic kills. D-Squared going in, he does get Megan. He does also force the Uber. But with it being in overtime, RGL and Ice is going to have to come into this point hard and fast and stay alive. Which is not part of their plan, apparently, and they end up going down and dropping the round. Not to fret, though, it is only tied 1-1 in this first half. Looks like RGL and Ice is a little bit slow to the rollout here, but Court going all the way in behind again. Although it looks like they've kind of caught on to this and have pushed in really aggressive as soon as possible to not give Court an opportunity. And he is going to get K-Dub, but they're not going to get mid, it doesn't look like. So maybe Court is going to have to kind of change his approach a little bit.
Nice pickaxe kill right there.
Yosemite eating the rocket, but Eru does go down, and that was at about 90% Uber. I think like 85 or something.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's hard to get out those projectiles quickly as demo to sort of protect your med. A lot easier on hit scan on your soldier.
Fizzy could have maybe had an opening there to get up onto the red roof and spam down at the players of RGL on Ice. Instead we have Zoe going in, trying to get onto blue roof, just trying to throw a bit of a bit of damage out. Court going in deep, and K-Dubs looks like he's going to be able to surf away. At 95% Uber, that's exactly what they needed. So this Uber is going to pop and hopefully push the players of RGL and Ice off the point. Looks like it won't even be the Uber to push them off, it'll just be the threat of it. Ubers have now equalized, so it looks like RGL and Ice is going to be initiating this play. Ubers do get used at both roughly the same time. Zoe goes down first, although the players of RGL and Ice are much lower health, so this could still go either way. But with Discord in a good position here on the blue roof, it looks like it's probably going to go in RGL and Ice's favor. And with that last kill coming out from D-Squared and Court, it is going to be the point captured for them.
It's like Zed might be planning something.
Looks like they're going in for a bit of a quad sack here. If Mailman gets these stickies right and stays alive, he could get all the kills. Unfortunately, Eru does get dropped, though. First, we got Lesson 3, and now we have Lesson 2. Work on those muscles. Even though they dropped the Uber, RGL and Ice is still able to hold on to the point, but with K-Dub now having full Uber, unless Ragu!
Oh my god.
Some meaty meat shots onto K-Dub, drops the Uber before he even knows what hits him. An insane arrow! Well, insane arrow from Eru on to Ragu to keep him alive just a little bit longer there. And it looks like they are still going to lose the point here, but they do have a little bit of an Uber advantage to play with now. Oh, that was meaty. And K-Dub is going to go down again to Rose. Looks like he's not having a great day.
Yeah. Rose seems to be pretty strong when it comes to those, looks like he's playing some sort of flank role.
Well, both of the scouts on RGL and Ice are looking quite strong. D-Score does take out Mailman as he tries to escape. Honestly, I don't know who's going to win this, because this has been so balanced and so back and forth. Honestly, these maps and the entire series here could go either way. Both teams definitely showing to have very strong players.
Oh yeah, especially this one.
Ooh, some nice stickies from Yosemite. And that's going to be almost the full wipe from On Ice. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Spookly, but I believe this was Zed's map pick.
Yeah, so, here, let me actually take a look.
And RGL and Ice is going to take a second round, leading the series 2-1 at the end of the first half. This is RTV.
Yeah, clear cut is Yasodi soon. So yeah, clear cut is RGL and Ice's pick.
So, Spookly, what are log... Huh?
No, we just started talking at the same time.
No.
Yeah, let me actually pull up logs. But yeah, what do you think of that half?
Honestly, it was very strong for both teams. Obviously, RGL and Ice did come out on top here. And with this being Zed's map pick, I believe, that's not really looking good for Zed going into the rest of the series, but the map still isn't over, and with how close that was, it could still go either way.
Yeah, I think this might actually be Ice's pick, but yeah, just strong stuff.
In that, actually, I'll check right now. What to do?
Disregard with the 350.
No, it
BPM
was Zed's
as
pick.
Soldier.
Okay.
Not bad. Seen only one sniper off class. Interesting.
Okay, I'll be back, Hunter.
Okay. But yeah, as I was saying, the rest of this map could still go either way. It is Zed's map pick, so you really want to see them win it, because otherwise it's just not looking good for the rest of this series. One thing that I think kind of changed for Zed, because if I remember correctly, RGL and Ice quite decisively got the first two initial mid fights, and then the third round, Zed kind of caught on a little bit and pushed in more aggressively because they could, because they had a man advantage with Court going behind so far. So, as much as the big bomb flank plays, I like to see them, I kind of want to see Court stop, because at this point, Zed is starting to catch on to that, and it's putting them, excuse me, at a disadvantage in the initial mid-fight.
Yeah, I think that he'll probably be able to sort of read and assess the situation and see, sort of, I mean, obviously, like, when you do something 3 times in a row, you're bound to be predicted, you know what I mean, so.
Hey, I mean, in that one scrim against Spork, I market guarded their med 5 times and they never caught on, but...
Hey, I mean, did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Except, I was doing the same thing over and over again, and it was working, so that's not insane.
I don't know.
But, yeah, I wonder what they're waiting for? Oh, it looks like Fizzy's AFK, that's probably what they're waiting for here. Okay, and we are underway with the second half. Let's follow Mailman to mid. It definitely seems like Zed is faster on their rollouts.
Oh yeah, Zed
They
is
already have
very
roof
good.
control, and I think Court,
Just went for the same thing.
yeah. And he got picked up by Megan instantly, so they're definitely not falling for that anymore. So I really hope Court catches on and kind of changes his playstyle.
Oh yeah, of course.
But even off of that, from Court just getting taken out immediately, it looks like the players of RGL and Ice just out-DM'd Zed entirely. Now, their medic K-Dub did make it out, but Arrow is still alive and now has full Uber, so that's really not going to matter. In the long run. I mean, it probably would have been good, but with RGL and Ice already being situated, and with that Uber being used right now, RGL and Ice is going to have the advantage in this post-Uber.
Yeah, some exchange taking place.
Although Ragu and Rose are down, and it looks like Baka is just going... Okay, hopefully he's been spotted, because otherwise Eru is going to die here.
Oh yeah, he's a bit too far to get that med pick.
Oh.
Or not.
Both of the scouts coming in and Eru goes down. And it looks like, even though... Yeah, okay. Definitely well played by Zed in that post-Uber. It was looking really, really good for RGL and Ice, but that demo Yosemite just kind of overextended just a little bit too much, and with that scout being in behind them, they kind of got sandwiched and couldn't really do anything. Mailman is going to take out Court. Baka onto D squared. K-Dub and Baka now go down along with Mailman and Megan, which is going to put RGL and Ice at a massive player advantage as they try and recap this point. Rose, just get the cap! Looks like it is Fizzy just left alive now. He's probably going to be just sitting tight here until the rest of his team is able to come in and maybe go for a quad sack here. Aaron does have quite a big Uber advantage, so that quad sack would not be a bad idea to go for. Looks like maybe they are going to go for it here.
It's really strong jumps from Zoe.
Although, unfortunately, nothing's really going to amount of it. The quad sack was just a quad sack, but a fruitless one. It seemed like maybe that quad sack was a little bit, disjointed. Because they've been able to get players in and just... The players of RGL and Ice got trapped in Garage. But if they could have had a soldier from each side and then another soldier and a demo, or the scout and the demo on the opposite sides, they would have been able to take that and probably wipe RGL on Ice.
Just a bit chaotic, you know. That's sort of the fate of it. Rather.
Although speaking of wiping, except that's going to be Zed wiping RGL on Ice now. Although they do only have another 38 seconds worth of cap time to get their third win in this map so far, so you never know. Big bomb. Court is going to go down.
Nice
D-Square does get K-Dub. The medic goes down, and that's going to be exactly what they wanted from that. Now, that is how you actually execute a quad sack, and Rose isn't even dead. Rose is just mopping through everybody until Zoe turns around in one well-placed rocket and Rose goes down. Although Baka in kind of a cheeky spot here. Oh, he just got spotted.
It's weird. Sometimes the best hiding spots are the ones where you're kind of in plain sight, maybe in a corner somewhere. weird. It's just the dumbest places.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think once you start to get good at games, you're able to recognize player silhouettes almost immediately, so you don't really need to pay too much attention. And something that kind of happens with Rainbow Six is if you sit in a bit of a dark corner holding like a mirror window or a deployable shield or something, that obscures your silhouette, so it's no longer player-shaped, and you will not be spotted. You can sit there just still, standing in front of the entire enemy team. And a lot of the time, they won't actually see you, and K-Dub going flying there. And it looks like RGL and Ice is probably going to take this third round here. Yep.
Yeah.
Leading the map 3-1 in this first round of the second half. This is probably going to sound a little bit stupid, but Uber stops fall damage, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Looks like Yosemite just had a little bit of a...
Yeah, a little bit of a...
connection stutter or something. Oh, Fizzy just gets marked by Ragu. And even with that, it looks like this kind of slower approach on the mid is working for RGL and Ice. They get the medic. Buck is going to go down as well, and there's the full wipe.
Yeah, Kurt not going for his signature bomb there.
He
Kurt,
did. He did still end the mid fight behind them, but
yeah, I mean, I have to say, like, his jumps are really, really good. So I don't know. All I'm saying is I can sort of see what he's thinking.
Yeah,
going for these really big jumps.
I mean, I think that mid went a little bit better for them because he didn't leave his team a player down. Oh, and a nice double air shot onto Mailman. That is one for the highlight reel. Wow. Court definitely hitting
really
some good
stuff.
rockets. Nice little twofer on the demo. One rocket to launch him into the wall, and then once more straight into his chest. You know, one thing about Newcomer compared to pretty much any other division within RGL, and I may be wrong here. Oh, K-Dub getting dropped by D squared. Fizzy's just going to crater in front of Ragu. And it's looking like it's going to be another... Oh, they do end up getting forced here, but just Mailman left is going to get run down by Ragu. But as I was saying, I may be wrong here, but it seems like with a Newcomer, there's probably one of the biggest discrepancies in ability of the teams from like the top of the division to the bottom of the division.
I'd agree with you there. Like,
I don't necessarily know if that's true, because there's always going to be that discrepancy, but it just seems a little bit more blatant in Newcomer.
Yeah, I mean, like, as it is, like, the lowest div, there's players of all skill levels sort of getting involved in the scene. So, yeah, obviously there's probably going to be a pretty wide variety of differences in skill.
Oh, Baka getting in behind. And that's what I'm talking about, the map being very wide and having a lot of room to play with horizontally to kind of flank and get behind, as he does get that Uber drop onto Arrow.
Lots of open space, and that's very good for Scout.
I think Clear Cut as a map, it suits a lot of the classes very, very well.
Yeah, it's a very, I guess you could say, optimized map for each class.
Like, with Scout, it's very wide and open and has a lot of horizontal room to play with. For Soldier, you have a high skybox, a lot of towers to jump off of. Demo is great because you have quite a few choke points and enclosed areas as well. And then Medic as well. There are different walls to surf around, certain obstacles, and just the height change between the midpoint and even down as you go in through that left side, kind of that, excuse me, valley area. The height difference helps you surf a lot farther away.
Yeah, I'd say the only class that really sort of is put at a disadvantage is probably medic, because they're being put at like that sort of meta works.
Well, medic's always at a disadvantage.
Yeah, but I mean like especially on maps like these that have so much bomb potential.
Oh, Aru, you're so low. Just get out of there. Leave your soldier to die. I'm not quite sure why Mailman and Megan didn't chase down Aru, but instead went for the scout behind them. A little bit of a missed opportunity there, I think.
I don't know. I'd say it's weird. You learn a lot more like. Well, it's just the game looks a lot easier when you see it just from the caster's perspective. It just looks like you just like think like, oh, like why didn't they do that? But at the same time,
hindsight is 20/20, right?
Yeah. If you were put in that position, what would you
Oh,
do?
please tell me Ragu guessed this. Okay, Ragu doesn't, but Yosemite kind of playing the reverse there, and instead he's the one to clean up on the damage. Court getting kills onto Megan. It looks like Mailman is going to go down fairly soon here. And with the players of Zed pretty much being dead, this is going to be a 4th round, putting RGL on ice at map point. Huh? Is it over?
Yeah, I think it's over for me, to be honest.
RGL on ice has only won 4 rounds though. 3 rounds. 4 rounds. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. No, yeah, it's over.
All right, well, yeah, I guess solid stuff from both teams. I think that I don't know, could have been a bit closer, but at the same time, like a lot of the clocks were pretty close as well.
Yeah, like score doesn't always show the full story, right? Games can be really close but be a 5-0 because you just barely win every single round. Still a good display from both teams though. But
of course, yeah.
Again, this isn't necessarily looking all that great for Zed coming into the second round because they lost their own map pick.
Mm-hmm.
Right! Koth maps are first to 4.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
I forgot about that too. Yeah, I definitely know what I'm doing. I've played comp before. Okay, we do have logs for these two halves here. For the first half here, again, standout players, Yosemite, 310 DPM, but D squared with 354, that's kind of crazy as a soldier. Obviously, he was the pocket, but still, that is some really good
kills.
damage.
That's double anyone else on his team. That's pretty solid.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the first half right now, and he has 28 in the first half.
Oh, yeah.
That's
second half he does really, really well too. So pretty consistent. That's always something really, really good.
Zoe being the big damage, but both Yosemite and D-Squirt having pretty much the same DPM numbers in both rounds. Those damage numbers, and then Court in the second half with 276 DPM, that kind of explains why they won. They were able to get a lot more damage output, so that's just good for them. But those are some insane damage numbers, honestly. You very rarely see damage numbers that high.
Yeah, that's
like, not only do you very rarely see damage numbers that high, period, but when you have 3 people that are around 300 DPM in one half, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's something special.
I mean, we already knew these players on RGL on Ice were kind of cracked from the previous cast I've done of them. And with what Dropknock had been saying, but man, are they cracked. So we are now on to Product. It is another King of the Hill map, but it's quite a bit different than Clear Cut. It's nowhere near as wide, and as scouts, they're still very influential, don't get me wrong, but they don't have nearly as much room to work with as they do on Clear Cut. And I think on Product, their role changes a little bit as opposed to Clear Cut. Like, to my understanding, on Product for scouts, both of your scouts are pretty much pocket scouts. They stick with the medic and the combo pretty much at all times and try to head up, again, as usual, the damage that the demo is doing, but this time you have both scouts kind of sticking to that role. Just because of bomb potential. I don't know, this map has a lot of bomb potential as well, but it's in a different way than Clear Cut.
Yeah, definitely a lot lower, but it also has some room for flanking as well.
It's definitely a little bit more of a straight-on sort of map than Clear Cut. You kind of have to fight your enemy to get onto their side of the map, while Clear Cut you can kind of finagle and finesse your way around the enemy.
Yeah, you're sort of able to, there's a lot of places you can push out of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I wonder if we're going to see any off classes. I don't think we had seen any off classes on Clear Cut.
I think I saw like one sniper, but no plays, at least from what I saw.
For Product, Sniper can be super impactful, but usually you'll end up having one of your soldiers off class onto Sniper since Scout is so valuable. But you also sometimes see Heavy while defending the point. Which I wonder if we're going to see any of that this match. What are you thinking, Spookly?
Honestly, I'm thinking this is going to be a very ice-dominated round. Or rather just match in general. I think that they've got something up their sleeve.
Yeah, I mean, they picked Product. For picking a Koth map and not banning one, they're obviously very confident on Koth. And being able to take that first map, I believe the score was 4-1. They are definitely a very strong team on Koth, but just in general as well. I think ideally for them, they'd probably want to take this round and not risk going to a third map, because King of the Hill is much different than 5CP.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think process would be pretty. I don't know. I think it'd be pretty hard for both teams.
5CP is a whole nother beast.
Yeah, it's a whole nother game. So.
I mean, we've seen that RGL on Ice seems to have a little bit better DM than Zed. And more so than Clear Cut, I want to say that Product favors that better DM even more.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of how much more of a straight head-on map it is. But with the first 3 kills being in favor of Zed, oh, and now a headshot onto Eru. That is going to be quite a dominant mid-fight for Zed.
Oh, yeah.
Ragu bringing out the Pyro.
Pyro.
You know, if the rest of the map goes any thing like that first round, we're going to a map 3.
Yeah.
That would be kind of funny, though, if they pulled the old switcheroo and took each other's map picks. Nice double bomb coming in, though. Looks like K-Dub is going to get forced.
Insane serves.
He probably could have surfed down the side of that rock, but it's better to not risk it, as he would have died from cratering if he took any fall damage at all.
Yeah, might as well just pop.
But able to go down, or not go down, and keep their players up, even in the face of that double bomb. They do still have their sniper, so they aren't going to have quite as much bomb potential. But as we saw in that first round, Zoe is definitely a decent shot.
Yeah. That nice golden gun.
And if Ice isn't able to shut down this sniper, that could potentially be the map over right there. Uber does get used. K-Dub is at 97%.
Just even with the body shots, soldiers gotta watch out when they're in the air, because just body shots, they'll just, all their momentum will just...
Okay, RGL and Ice did bring the sniper, and Ragu immediately gets the headshot onto Zoe. But that might just be a little bit, too little, too late for this round. Yeah, we don't want to count anyone out of it yet, but... Oh... Ragu definitely pulling out all the stops. The Uber does get used from K-Dubs. Yosemite is backing up a little bit with his mech. They are only at about 60%. They are probably going to be able to re-aggress here, though, although they are at a player disadvantage, so they're probably not going to want to. And with Fizzy being deep on their side of the map, now in China... Well, Japan, sorry. They're gonna have to be careful.
Mission ends in 30 seconds.
Oh, and a nice headshot onto D-Squared. And another nice headshot onto Yosemite! Zoe is on fire!
Cracked.
And onto
And
the
gets
medic as well!
Oh my god. Yeah, the Zoe on sniper might be a game changer.
Speed, clip that, please, if you're still in the chat. I hope you are. Clip that. We have to have that clipped. Wow, what a play from Zoe. Definitely Zed pulling off a very, very strong performance in that first round. And I don't want to give Zoe all the credit, but he deserves quite a bit of it, because he was a huge factor in that match. Or in that first round.
I don't think that they're going to be switching up sniper.
No, I don't believe they are either.
Would be a pause or just some lag?
5, 4,
Pause.
3,
Yeah, it's a pause.
2, 1. Control point enabled. Move.
Hey, Spee, let me know when you've clipped that so I can give you permission to post the link in the chat. If you've clipped it, if you're still here. Yeah, so it looks like we have a pause here. It could be a technical pause. It could also be a bit of a tactical pause, kind of just to alleviate a little bit of that shock factor from Ice's players.
Yeah, so to get back that confidence, build up each other.
I do believe that each team gets one tactical pause per half. I think. I know each team gets one pause per half. I'm not sure what that's used for. If that.
Yeah, I think that they'd probably just do one pause in general. As,
Yeah.
It'd be pretty I guess you could say difficult to sort of define the difference between each.
Well, technical pauses are usually there for people losing connection and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, permit. Dancing. Go for it, Spee. I gotta see that again. Oh, and a nice headshot onto D squared. Is this pause still going on? Yes, it is.
Yep.
You know, I'll just... Oh, and a nice headshot onto D squared. And another nice headshot onto Yosemite. Zoe is on fire.
Cracked.
And onto
And
the
gets the
medic
med.
as well!
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah, this was solid, yeah. So on Sniper might be a game changer.
I have a feeling Zoe is probably going to be staying on Sniper for the entirety of this match.
Yeah, that's, I don't know, it makes sense.
I don't think he's going to be switching off.
Yeah, after plays like that, even if you do bad, after, you sort of gotta, I don't know, they sort of pump up your blood if you don't.
You gotta keep your head up, because, wow. And that was kind of just sealing the deal for RGL on Ice in that first round. I mean, it was already pretty much over, but that's just salt in the wound.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably the height of Zoe's career.
Zoe legacy.
Zoe legacy. Actually going to take a look at Zed, specifically Zoe. Oh, he has no, nothing in the history of RGL.
I don't think any other players do. I checked a couple. Even their leader doesn't have any history.
I mean, I maybe would have expected like some newcomer Highlander experience, maybe on Sniper, but if he ever wanted to, he could probably play Highlander Sniper. Just, yeah, that was kind of insane.
Yeah.
Oh. Putting my Twitch link into the thing probably isn't going to help me. Into console. I'm gonna maybe try reconnecting here and see what happens. We probably are. We're just stuck in a pause.
Imagine if it was just. Oh wait, I don't know if you can reconnect during a pause on STB. Can you?
Well, I guess we're stuck looking at this now.
Yeah, I guess. Hey, at least we know that we weren't just like sort of talking to a blank screen
Yeah.
while the game was going on.
Yes, the Twitch link in console. Definitely helpful. Okay, so I am now connected, but we still haven't come out of the pause yet.
Interesting. You get to take a look around, do some Matrix stuff.
Maybe we're coming out of the pause now?
Control point enabled.
No, that's just the control point being enabled again. Wow. I guess to kind of pass the time, I will hop real quickly into the viewing room on my Discord, which is currently only occupied by Spee. And see what his thoughts about that play was. So, Spee, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just venting a little bit about pauses.
So, what do you
You're
think
celebrating
about
now.
the matchup so far?
I have. So far, it looks really pretty even. Caught the second half of the second game for the first half. So the tail end of the second game for the first half. But the matchup seems pretty even so far.
What do you think of that
Obviously,
sniper play from Zoe?
that's insane. I wish I was half as decent as sniper as Zoe. I can barely even hit a dispenser. I swear to God. Uh, I'm really bad at sniper. I just go with explosions. I like my soldier.
Oh, and we are back. Speed, enjoy the rest of the match. Okay, I do have to really quickly reconnect because my HUD breaks anytime there is a pause.
Unfortunate.
Alert. The control
We should keep being here.
Triple caster.
Yeah, we could do some. We could. I was gonna say quad. We could do some tri-casting.
Oh, wait, I need to start streaming again. Whoops. There we go.
Thank you.
Is Zoe going to be able to just take off one of these players' heads? Doesn't look like he is going to be at this point in time. K-Dub is going in with the Uber with his team. Both Ubers do get used here, but it looks like the post-Uber is going to take place on the blue side of the map, but with Zoe in position, he could try and catch some of these players as they escape, but it looks like Ragu is probably going to take him out. And with the collapse... Oh, Eru, no! Yosemite! Oh, definitely a decent salvage there from Zed. That was looking so good for On Ice.
We have captured the control point.
This is weird. RGL and Ice looked really, really dominant on Clear Cut. Oh, Ragu hitting some nice headshots as well. Okay, so it looks like On Ice does have a ringer now.
Interesting.
Our control point is
Do you know which one of their players lost connection?
It was D squared.
D squared? Oh, unfortunate.
You know, I meant to remember that, but thanks for the heads up, Spee. But it is pretty nice, isn't it? You can tell I'm
Yeah, the
very
big screen is
professional and have
really
definitely
stuff.
been casting matches all season.
Been casting matches for years. Derp was casting matches before you were alive.
Zoe gonna be able to get a little bit of shot here. Does get the fully charged body shot onto court. But it looks like finally RGL on Ice is actually getting some cap time. Which I don't think there was much of that in this first half, but we'll have to see what happens. Court, very low HP, is going to get healed back up to full. Zoe goes down, and Baka with the Uber on the Pyro. The WM1 plays!
I should try and blast that Gavin all his troubles with his mouse. Did we get the demo?
The WM1, what? How can this work?
Gets the scout too, nice.
control point.
Baka just wiped everybody on Pyro. Speed, you should clip that too.
I think
What?
that just proves that Pyro needs to be added as a sixth class, the sixth class in sixes. Or maybe they should just add a seventh class. I think it's 7.
Just sub out one of the scouts for Pyro.
Yeah, just get rid of one of the scouts.
Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that pocket scouts need to be able to build Uber, Pyro would be much better off as a pocket scout.
Yeah.
Oh, and Zoe gets Ragu.
I think this, look at how twitchy Zoe's mouse is.
Make Pyro great again. Oh, that is really twitchy, but he does get the body shot onto Yosemite. And with 3 players down, this Uber, or once this Uber fades, it's not going to be looking good. Oh, and he gets the shot onto Yosemite. Oh, it looks like Aru is going to go down. Ragu goes down as well, and oh, everything is falling apart for RGL on ice in this second map. Oh, this is not looking good for on ice. Zed is putting them on ice. Oh, some nice pills coming out from Yosemite. He could get some good stickies here, but he is going to go down as K-Dub used, not K-Dub, yes, K-Dub uses Uber. With the way these maps are shaping up, I'm not sure why the map picks were the way they are. It definitely seemed like RGL on Ice was much... Oh! So... with a mid-air headshot onto court.
Yeah.
Oh no. But as I was saying, the map picks seem kind of weird, because RGL on Ice was clearly a lot more confident on Clear Cut, but with Product being their map pick, it doesn't seem like they're playing it at the same level that Zed is. I don't know. Zoe on the sniper is proving to have such a huge impact. But some of the other plays, like that Pyro Uber, that was just
Yeah, that's
not that that shouldn't work.
I don't know, Newcomer, man, you got that sort of leeway.
I mean, yeah, but you also don't expect Newcomer players to hit 3 headshots.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe your expectations of Newcomer is just too low.
Nah, not for playoffs. Yeah, very interesting to see that in playoffs. But, I
don't know, it's looking like we're probably going to be going to a map 3.
Bonus ducks.
Thank you for the follow, Valak. And actually, it looks like players are kind of dropping connection a little bit, so I will take a look at the logs. Product. Wow, Yosemite still having 344 DPM, Court with 322. But then for the side of Zed, you have 3 players that are just narrowly not quite hitting that 300 DPM threshold.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's very, it's
oh,
close.
sorry, no, you have 4 players that are not just barely missing that. Wait, what? Zoe with almost 400 DPM, and then 3 players just narrowly missing that 300 DPM threshold. And the demo having the lowest DPM, that's not something you see every day.
Unfortunate, yeah.
Huh.
I don't know, if you rack up those headshots, you really just...
Yeah. Definitely some crazy stuff coming in from Zed. I mean, they're definitely proving why they got a playoff spot. Oh, and it looks like we've lost Spookly. Yep, looks like we've lost Spookly. He has completely lost internet. Oh, Court. Oh, he gets the Uber just in time and goes flying. Okay, so... Well... I'm all alone right now. Looks like Mailman is going to be beefing his Rollo just a little bit. He is going to be getting to mid here, but some of the players for RGL and Ice going deep with that big bombs coming in first. Rennie on Pride Rock. A lot of picks going in the favor of RGL and Ice. Mailman is just trying to get some damage. Yosemite in deep, very low health, but he's going to get healed up. It's just Fizzy left alive under Japan, and he is going to go down, and wow, what a round from RGL on Ice. Looks like they definitely used that half to kind of get themselves back in their right mind for this half, get back into the right mindset, and maybe just talk a little bit about things that are going wrong, and whatever they did, it worked. And as long as they can keep that up for the rest of this match, ooh, it is going to be good. RGL and Ice does have the forward hold going. They are holding just a little bit wrong. Maybe not wrong, but typically you have your demo over on Cliff where he is along with a soldier. Your other soldier usually sits about middle of China, and then both of your scouts are with the medic over on grass. Having both of your one soldier over with your demo completely shuts off that doorway. Having one soldier in middle China allows him to rotate either side based on where the enemy players are coming, and obviously you want both of your scouts to be with your medic at all times on product in order to actually keep him alive. Yosemite is going to go down to Rose, but the Pyro play again! With the Uber exchange, it looks like one team is definitely going to come out on top, with K-Dub going down. Looks like it's the Pyro play. Fizzy getting 2 big rocket kills. And just barely out of nowhere, Zed pulls that win and that cap out of absolutely nowhere. Please don't tell me Zoe. Please don't tell me Zoe gets another headshot. This is not alright. This is not okay. This is not alright. This is not the way I expected this map to go at all. Oh, and Court cratering because he got shot by Zoe. No. K-Dub's at 97% Uber. Arrow already at 100, although Yosemite goes down. So really, if if Zed wanted to, they could use into RGL on Ice, although they are going to use first. And Zoe getting a shot onto Rennie, that's just going to completely stop anything from RGL on Ice, and with 3 players dead, they're going to have to pull out and just try to survive. Yosemite in alone over on grass side. He could die if he gets pushed, but the players of Zed are just playing this a little bit passively. Although Zoe missing a few shots, he is now left in China, is now on the point. Yosemite does go down to Flizzy over, and he just narrowly misses the air shot. He does manage to stay alive, though. Court does get picked up by Baka. Looks like D-Squared is back here. And K-Dub going down to a nice, well-played shot from Rego and getting another shot onto Megan. Although it looks like Arrow's going to go and gets another one onto Zoe. Wow, it looks like this is going to be the point captured off of the back of Regu on the sniper. 3 quick headshots is going to give the point to RGL on ice. Although K-Dub does take out, not K-Dub, sorry, Zoe does take out Regu. Fizzy is in position to try and go in here. He is taking some spam from Rennie and probably Court soon as he is going in. He does get the sniper, gets the scout as well, stays alive and is able to get out and alive. But no, not quite, because Rose did go down a little bit sooner than hopefully, than anticipated. They are going to be aggressing here, and it looks like K-Dub is, not K-Dub, sorry, Arrow is going to get forced by the scout. Yosemite using that last bit of the Uber to go in deep, just trying to maybe sticky up this medic. He gets one sticky onto the medic. K-Dub is in a position to die. The sticky does go down and he does get the medic pick, but that's not really going to be enough as his team doesn't have any players up. It's a little bit of a salvage, but with Zoe on the sniper back up on his China, he could completely stuff any sort of push that RGL on Ice tries to do before it even starts. Oh, and a nice air shot onto Baka from Reddy, and Zoe with another headshot onto Yosemite. He is getting bombed by Reddy, though, and it looks like the players of Ice have had it here. Had it with the sniper. They don't want to deal with him anymore, so they're just going to bomb him repeatedly. Arrow getting some nice surfs. It looks like he maybe is going to get out alive, but no, he's not. He is going to get cleaned up by Fizzy because nobody's there to clean him up. And with it just being Yosemite left alive, they need to cap this for Zed. They do get the cap, and they do take another round. They are currently up 3-0 in the second map. We're going into the second round of the second round of the second half. Sorry. Lots of words need to come out of mouth in a really short amount of time. Let's see if Zoe gets a pick here. He does get the body shot onto Court. That's going to stop him from being able to go for his bomb, kind of slow them down a little bit. K-Dub is very low health and standing on a sticky. Playing it really risky. A lot of stickies there, and he does go down, or Baka does go down to those stickies as they get detonated. A lot of spam coming in from Yosemite. Well placed. Once again, getting some good damage onto K-Dub. Regu does go down to Mailman. It looks like both the demos are just exchanging spam here. Although Rose going in behind. Fizzy does get onto Arrow. The scouts leave their medic behind, going in for the enemy medic. Like I have said before, your scouts on product are pocket scouts. They do not leave the medic's side. And we saw what happens, but Regu getting a nice shot onto Zoe. Definitely having had it with the snipers. He's coming back and trying to show his own. Baka does manage to take him out, though. The players of Zed are just going to be regrouping on this point. They do currently have about a 50% Uber advantage over Eru, sitting at 100%. So they have all the cards in their hand right now. They hold all the cards. It looks like the players for RGL and Ice are going to be setting up for a push out this valley/cliff side here. With those stickies from Mailman placed onto the rock, though, that could stuff any sort of push. So getting a nice headshot. I don't know if he saw the soldier that went in behind him. Just trying to track down Court. It looks like he is just going to be trying to jump around. The Uber does come in from Arrow. Court is still behind. Rennie does get 2 kills. The Uber gets used from K-Dub as well. Court is still behind, giving the players a big runaround. The demo goes down, and so does the medic, and wow. Court serving as a great distraction to pull a lot of the players from Zed back as their Uber goes in and takes out the rest, and then coming back in, circling around, and helping to clean up the last stragglers. Currently, Zed is sitting at match point, and with a nice shot onto Rennie from Zoe, this could be another cap, but Court going in behind again. He does manage to take out Zoe. Is he going to live here? Zed at 6 health. He is going to go down to Megan as he does turn around in Valley. It looks like Rose is going to go down to Megan as well. With 3 players down on the side of RGL on ice, Zed is going to take the capture here. Maybe a bit of an unintentional sticky jump from Mailman, but just trying to exchange some pills over on that cliffside. Maybe see if he can't get some damage, some spam, and maybe even if he gets lucky a kill. Yosemite is now focusing his attention more over towards Valley. They are going in now, just the scout and the medic though. It doesn't look like they have a whole lot of support. They are coming in now, but they are leading the charge. Baka does get taken out behind it now. All they have to do is focus on the players in front of them. Zoe is still alive, although he is going to be going down fairly shortly here. The Uber has come out from K-Dubs, but is going to be fading very soon here. With it just being K-Dubs and Megan alive, K-Dubs is just going to try and get out. And getting the saw onto Reddy! And it looks like he is going to get out! Wow! And that's going to put them at equal Uber here for K-Dub. That player just getting a little bit too close, giving him the free 25 Uber percentage. And with only having 55 seconds left of cap time, if this next Uber exchange goes the way of Zed, that could be the map there, or map right there, setting us on to a process for a third map. With the Uber exchange going down, Court is dead, but so is Fizzy. Players are still equal. The medic Eru is at very low HP. Although having a sniper does kind of put you at a bit of a disadvantage, but with it being Zoe, you never know. It could be 1, 2, or maybe even 3 headshots. Fizzy is maybe going to go down to Rose, but no, they just exchange a little bit of damage and then run away from each other. And it looks like the cap time is still going to be ticking down for the side of RGL on ice as that push didn't really go Zed's way. And Court really being fed up with that sniper is just throwing himself at Zoe. A nice little air shot onto the scout. Unfortunately, it's not quite enough to kill him, leaving Megan at 6 health. But Megan does get picked up by a well-placed pill from Yosemite. Uber does come out. Arrow goes down at 95% Uber. And with having only 30 seconds on the clock, Zed really needs to cap this point right now. But the players of RGL and Ice are just throwing themselves at the point, and Reddy getting the medic! Just Court and Reddy left alive. They hold the point and are now trying to make as much time as possible. Both of the scouts coming in at the same time. They could be taken out by the soldiers, but they don't see them! They are coming back to the point now. The cap point does get capped by the scout. Zoe is back on Cliff. Fizzy is back in concrete. And Zed is back in this fight here. Although they need to go hard and fast and stay alive. But with some well-placed rockets from Rennie, some stickies from Yosemite, an arrow from Arrow onto Zoe, that is going to be the first round for RGL on ice. Oh, I still have another map to go and my voice is not happy with me. It is currently 3-1 drop knock in favor of Zed. They only need one more round and they will take the second map and bring us on to process. A big bomb coming in from Rennie. Unfortunately, he doesn't hit his rockets, but the other soldiers with them. Zoe goes down. Court is still in, although very low. This could be bad for the medic of Zed K-Dub being at 75 HP, 70 or 80%. Looks like they are going to be able to keep their players up and pretty much wipe this round here. They are going to get the full wipe and get the first cap. Court looks like he is going in for a bomb. The medic isn't where he wants him to be. He does get one rocket. Oh, never mind. The rocket even missed. Kidums is at full Uber. They're not going to be able to force, and being at a 50% advantage, they are going to use here and hopefully be able to take out Arrow. And with the rest of the players going down, Arrow is just sitting in spawn, so they are going to have Uber to push back. But who knows, it may not be enough. With 1 minute off the clock now for Zed, this is looking good for them. But like I said before, and like we all know, it ain't over until it is over. Although Zoe still on Sniper, Baka was in a little bit of a cheeky spot, but he does look like he has ran away. There is a player behind. It's probably Court. Indeed it is. He gets SMG down by Zoe. That gave enough time, though, for Yosemite to get in and pulled enough players for Zed back that RGL and Ice had an opening. Zoe is in a bit of a spot here. Although it looks like he is getting run down by Rose. He is going to go down. K-Dub having full Uber. He does use as the soldier comes in for the bomb. They are still in control of the point now with 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. Rose goes down to Megan. And it looks like Court might be trying to go for a play. He's just going to get pushed back out of concrete, back into grass. Yosemite still in Valley with his scout and his medic. Court going back in deep. He does... Oh, no. K-Dub getting the arrow onto Court. Not what you want to see. Oh, Zoe, you saw Arrow. Okay, you took out Yosemite with a body shot. You saw Arrow, so you could get this headshot onto the medic.
Mission ends in 30 seconds.
Nice little Arrow sitting at 80% for, about 85% for both teams. We're going to be seeing another Uber stage coming very soon here. Ragu gets the shot onto Zoe, which could be the opening pick that they need to actually make a play for this point here. With only 10 seconds left on the clock, though, and with RGL and Ice having 3 minutes to go, unfortunately, it's not looking likely, and I think we probably are going to be going to a map 3. Map 3, process, here we come. Oh, I'm really quickly going to take a look at logs because I need to go get some more water because I am dying slightly. Slightly dying. So, once again, Yosemite with 357 DPM, Court with 338, definitely going big. Zoe not getting quite as much DPM. Megan, though, 347 DPM. You don't see that much DPM on Scouts as much. Fizzy with 355. A couple of med picks. Megan getting 11 kills onto the Scout. Fizzy getting 6 onto the med, and that's a lot. Rose getting another 3. No teams really had any Uber drops. K-Dub did have one more Uber used. But the kills here, Megan getting 23 kills, Fizzy with 21. K-Dub only got 10 in this second half. But still, you can kind of see why they ended up taking it in the end. So it looks like in that round, D-Square did lose internet for most of that game. That's why we had that pause, and that's why you saw Rennie come in. But it appears as though D-Square is back in it. So we'll have to see if that really makes a difference. We are going to be going on to process. It's probably... If you think of TF2 6s, you probably think of process. It's kind of... sort of the face of 6s in terms of maps, kind of like Heavy is sort of like the face of TF2. It's kind of just a standard, simple map, and one of the first ones any new comp player wants to learn and get the rollouts down really well, learn callouts, and really just learn how to play it. In terms of how to play the mids, Sunshine and Process are very similar, not just in the mids, but kind of in the way you play them as a whole. So, you kind of see them They're very similar maps in the way you play them, so that's kind of why you want to learn Process soon, because then you kind of have an idea of how to learn Sunshine. But talking specifically about the mids, you have High Ground that you want to control, Process on the crates, and on Sunshine the mid is a bit more wide open, but you want to control that bell tower, you want to control those Tetris towers as well. But you don't really play the mids very straight on, straight across the point and straight back. You kind of want to play the mids as sort of a overcomplicated game of Ring Around the Rosie, essentially. Being able to rotate around the mid and around where your enemies are and be able to cut off their exits and separate the team into two groups, essentially. The only issue there is you have to make sure you watch out and don't just throw yourselves into the middle of the entire enemy team and get sandwiched from both sides. You need to be able to isolate both those halves and isolate the fights as well. With all that being said, we are just now getting into Process, and I need to go get water, because I am dying a little bit. I probably could, drop knock. The only thing is I'm kind of wanting to stick to newcomer matches. Even though I'd say have, a level of... I want to say I have a level of understanding about the game more than kind of your average newcomer player. I really understand what newcomer players and teams are trying to do and how they're trying to work and function. And I'm still at sort of a newcomer understanding of the game, if that makes any sense. Really, the main reason is I'm just kind of wanting to stick to newcomer, because that's who I'm kind of wanting to give the exposure to, right? Yeah, exactly as Speed says. Because newcomer players, obviously they're new to the game, and are new to competitive as a whole. But a lot of these players, they may never know what it feels like to have a match casted and to have anybody watching, even if it's only like 4 people or whatnot. But I had the joy of, during this last Newcomer Cup for RGL, I think it was held in August, my second match was actually casted on the official RGL stream. And there were more than like 7 people watching. There were a couple hundred, so I know what it feels like, and I wanted to kind of, you know, give that feeling to other people as well. In the Newcomer Cup and leading up to this season, I was on Ice Cream Tech. I played in the first official match, and then I kind of got screwed out of playing the rest of the season as a main. I'm not going to go any farther into that, but... So I only actually played on the first play day, and then it was just scrims leading up to the Newcomer Cup, scrims in the off-season leading up to the first official map for the season, and then kind of just offshoot scrims as a sub. One thing with Process, we've seen that Court is very, very strong with his rocket jumps. So I'm kind of hoping to see him hit the rollout, specifically the ramp slide on to mid to get the height, in order to get over to the enemy team's health pack and be able to steal it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So I'm kind of hoping to see Court go in deep with this initial rollout. Ah, I knew he would hit it. Getting and stealing the enemy's health pack. They're doing a really good job here at kind of spreading themselves out across the map and then being able to just isolate the enemies and collapse on them. Court getting onto K-Dub along with D-Scored as well. And that's going to be a very, very quick wipe. No! No! How do you... Oh... I don't have words. I mean, because of the wipe, RGL on Ice is still going to get the second point pretty much for free. But they're going to be at about a 10% Uber disad here, which isn't really going to mean really anything. But, so in the first map, it was... Zed's map pick on Clear Cut, and RGL on Ice took it, I believe, 4-1, I want to say. Which I think was also the scoreline for Product as well, just in Zed's favor. And that brings us to Process here. It seems like this map is in RGL on Ice's favor. They're going to be setting up for this Uber push here in through 5. They'll just go... They're not even using it. They're going straight into heaven. They're trying to make K-Dub use first, although they do have 2 picks. Make that 3 picks. I think this is probably going to be the round here. It's just K-Dub and Megan left alive. Mailman coming in a little bit late, but looks like it might just be enough. Oh. Oh, that was so close.
Our control point is being captured.
Honestly, RGL and Ice would have gotten the round in that situation had they not lost their med on mid. I believe it was Baka that hit and managed to hit 2 nice meat shots to take out Eru. And with K-Dub having the Uber advantage, RGL and Ice is definitely showing that they know what they're doing. They're playing this they're playing this mid. They are still holding it, but they're playing it passive because they know they are at an Uber disadvantage. So they know that they're going to be able to get out and milk out the Uber. Now that they're equalizing Uber, they are going to be pushing up a little bit, as you want to do. They're playing this exactly how they should be. Because now as the Uber gets used into them, they can use as well. Hopefully not drop any more players than just D squared. But with Fizzy getting in behind, I don't think Eru is going to be able to get out unless he starts leaving now. They are getting the back cap. Screw what's happening on the point. Rose with the back cap is at 10. Oh. Rose, no. That's really unfortunate because the scout has the tool to completely ignore fall damage. Just negate it. Oh no. He may have been able to rush in for the back cap one to last there, but he did. Now, in this case, RGL on Ice is actually... Oh no, they're dropping players. And a lot of that Uber is getting wasted here. And with the heavy in heaven, I don't know if RGL on Ice is going to be able to take this. The Uber has now completely faded. And that push died as soon as that first soldier did. Oh, that is really unfortunate. Which is going to give K-Dub a huge Uber advantage. Looks like they're running the heavy all the way out to second, and hopefully maybe even into mid.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
Probably gonna run that heavy until it dies. K-Dub does now have full Uber. Eru is on the tail of full Uber as well, so they're just going to equalize, and then depending on who ends up deciding to push first. With Megan on the heavy, you can't really push into that, and with Eru getting forced, it's, again, you're not really going to be able to push from that, and honestly, they probably should have just realized that, maybe only sent one player to go in and force the Uber, and then just had all the rest of their team just immediately back out. And what is Yosemite doing? No. No! Yosemite, turn around! Court with a nice air shot onto Zoe! No! It's just Fizzy! He misses his rocket jump! No! Yosemite! Oh no! But the salvage to hold second. The back cap, the big brain play. It looks like Eru is going to die, which is not going to be good for them. Yet another Uber advantage from K-Dub. Oh, looks like Court is going to die as well. For those of you who are just making it here, this is a round 2 playoff match. These teams are fighting for a semi-final position next week. We are currently on map 3. The first map was Zed's pick, being clear-cut. RGL and Ice took that map 4-1. The next map was product of obviously being on Ice's map pick, which was taken by Zed 4-1, the exact same scoreline as the first, which brings us to process our map 5. RGL and Ice, their very first mid was looking super dominant, and then they had a wrench thrown in their plans when Baka, I believe it was, hid under the crates and got 2 clean meat shots onto their medic, which stopped them from being able to cap on the, the snowball or steamroller, whatever you want to call it. And since then, this has been a very back and forth map.
The control point is being contested.
Obviously, with this being process and being kind of the face of TF2 in not the face of TF2, but the face of Sixes in terms of maps, it is kind of the map you think of when you think of sixes. Both of these teams are going to know this map very, very well. Yosemite getting some nice stickies is going to take out Fizzy. D-Squared does get a pick as well. The Uber does get used from K-Dub. His arrow is Hatful Uber. He does use now. With Yosemite up on top of the crates, he's able to rain Hellfire from above. The medic goes down, and so does US Mailman. It looks like they are going to be going on a second. No. And Baka is behind them again. He still hasn't been spotted. No. Okay, it is just the scout. It isn't something as valuable as the medic. But he is still behind, and he's going to be going for the cap now. They can't out-cap him as long as they stack it. So all Baka's going to be doing is leaving his players behind. And he is going to get back to his team, though, which is going to be good. Fizzy getting some spam into lobby here and kind of just pushing the players of RGL on ice out. Yosemite is going to go down to Fizzy, though, which is going to kill off any push before it can start. That essentially is just going to cause Ubers to be equalized. Arrow is going to stay alive, being able to surf that rocket from Zoe. And with Yosemite being down, they don't have the area denial that they need to keep these Zed players at bay. With K-Dub on the edge of Uber now, they're going to have to go in now without being able to be pushed back out. They're going to have to coordinate this well, but again, the push is dead before it starts with both of their scouts going down. D-Squared is going to get a pick onto Fizzy, though, but it's not going to be enough for them to initiate this push. Being 2 players down, especially both of your scouts, is not good, and with Arrow being very low as well, we could be seeing a bomb coming in from Zed to drop that Uber very, very soon. Sticky's over by the one-shutter. Yosemite looks like he's having a little bit of internet problems. Well, it looks like he is just lagging a tad bit. And really, with these Ubers being up here, we are currently sitting at 8:19 minutes left on the clock for this half. So, nothing is really happening here. Players are just kind of sitting around and maybe looking to try and make an opening. In terms of making an opening, it's really difficult to make an opening when you're pushing into last, unless the enemy team really screws up. Unless the enemy team really screws up, in which case you can catch out that player who went for a sack, and that's your opening there. Otherwise, you either need to try and make a sniper play or spy, and it doesn't look like any of these teams have any intention of doing so. Even though we've seen that both teams have very capable snipers, being Ragu on RGL on Ice and Zoe on Zed. So they definitely have the capabilities to try and go for a play of that sort. But it just doesn't seem like they have any intention, and it seems like both teams are perfectly content with running down the clock. As I say that, RGL on Ice is going to push in through the number 1 hallway and try and get onto the point. They got a little bit of cap time. That scout is there. They got a lot of cap time. And with Yosemite and the soldiers up on heaven, they are finally able to take this first round. After almost 15 minutes. Mailman beefing his rollout just a little bit. Yosemite didn't beef it quite as hard, but Court getting in deep and being able to steal that health pack is going to be good for them. That showed and proved very influential. It looks like he is just going to get spammed out here. Maybe he gets K-Dubs! He does get K-Dub! And that could be the mid there, although it's looking not, because a lot of the players for RGL and Ice have already went down. Yosemite just coming back from the respawn room. Fizzy and another soldier are duking it out, but D-Squared with the extra health. And somehow, RGL and Ice, it looks like, are going to be retaking this mid almost immediately, as long as Regu can pull off the kill onto Megan. But even so, it looks like they are still going to be retaking this mid. Eru is sitting at full Uber as K-Dub did die. They're at about a 40% disadvantage, but that could equalize very quickly if RGL and Ice doesn't go soon. And with a soldier, or not a soldier, but Baka sitting in those corners, it doesn't look like Rose spotted him. They choose to go through IT. This could be very, very bad for RGL and Ice, but instead they decided to let Ubers equalize. Oh, and it looks like Eru went down, dropping Uber to Zoe, so that's going to be very bad for RGL and Ice. Getting wiped, just Yosemite alive, and with him going down to Baka, that's going to be the full wipe, giving giving Zed not only mid, but also second, almost for free. Although it looks like Mailman got in a little bit over his head. Rose goes, or takes out Fizzy, and it looks like Zoe is going to be pushing Yosemite back. He may go down, but he does get out through that #1 shutter door. Looks like Megan is building with her medic. Both teams are not quite even at Uber, but this time Regu with the sniper. Again, we've seen him to hit some really good shots, so he could be the difference maker in this situation here. But Baka again just sitting in corners. Both teams do now have full Uber. Looks like Regu has switched back off the sniper, so it looks like we might be at another stalemate, but as I say that, On Ice is pushing out. They are mostly still alive. Baka, oh, you can't leave your medic alone like this. He is able to get out, and I think he may have even gotten a saw onto Baka, so that's going to be good for him and his team. Looks like they are maybe wanting to re-aggress here, but again, it might just be safer to hold off, build Uber, and be able to have that Uber for when Zed decides to actually push into last. Not exactly sure what Court is doing going back to spawn, maybe just for a resupply. But that's kind of not a good idea, because he's leaving his team a man down as they're trying to Uber in to Zed. And because of that, he's going to be the last one trying to defend this point, and it's not going to be enough, and Zed takes the round here. Tied 1-1 on the third map of this series. Wow, definitely a back and forth matchup. Yosemite going for the kind of Habib rollout just narrowly misses it. Is going to be playing this on the right side. It will work if he's supported. He does have his team with him on the high ground, but Zoe getting him behind. He hasn't been spotted yet. No damage. Looks like he is going to get one rocket onto Arrow, and oh, just narrowly missed the second. And with only 2 players left alive for Zed, that's going to be the mid for Regu. But Baka, again, the last one alive. Please don't tell me he gets Iru again. And luckily, just barely, he doesn't. One beef shot away. And this could be the second round right here. They are going to get second for free. They're also going to have Uber going into this last push here. So as long as they're able to keep their players up, not feed, and coordinate this push, they will get this third round, sorry, off of the mid fight. But Baka just barely saving that again like he did in the first round. Looks like they are going to be going in right now. They are just going to use onto the scout, but it's disjointed. The rest of their team isn't there with them, and they waited too long. K-Dub has Uber, and Ubering onto the heavy. That's going to be a ton of DPS coming out, and may not be able to get the point. The rest of these players, Yosemite, you need to get in, but it's too late now. Really, what went wrong there for RGL on Ice is they waited too long. They lost their advantage. But more so, they were not coordinated. They did not go in together. They went in with the medic and the scout, and that's all they went in with. They needed to go in with their full team. And we just didn't see that. And because of that, both their entire team essentially got wiped. Their medic may have made it out, I'm not 100% sure, but considering the current Uber numbers, I'm going to guess that he didn't. And that's going to put K-Dub at quite a big Uber advantage. And Zed, I think, at least I hope, they're going to be able to capitalize on this about 60% or 30% Uber advantage and be able to go in coordinated with it. And it looks like they're going to be able to do that, but because of the way RGL on Ice has been playing this, they put themselves in a spot where they were able to get out mostly unscathed before Uber was even used because they knew they were at an Uber disadvantage. So good on RGL on Ice for being able to play that correctly. They do have Uber now. They're going to have a much better Uber here once these fade. But with the players of Zed mostly being behind, it could still go either way. Most of them are dead, but Baka has proven to be an influential clutch player. Just Mailman left alive, although he is just going to be running away. And definitely well played from RGL on Ice there. Oh my gosh, this cast has already been going for 2 hours, and it has showing no signs of stopping anytime soon. We currently have 9 minutes left in the half. Currently tied at 1-1. There is a good chance this match will go to Golden Cap. I have not actually seen a match go to Golden Cap yet, so we'll have to see what ends up happening. That'd be kind of interesting. Not necessarily sure I want it to, though, just because I'm not sure if my voice will survive. Court does take out Fizzy in IT. That could be the opening they need in order to use into them. They do still have a bit of an advantage, but it's really not going to amount to much as they haven't been able to coordinate these pushes fast enough. With Court going down to Mailman, they're not going to be able to do any pushes, and it's going to be dead again before it even starts. Well, you'd have to use the defibrillator on his internet, because his internet just straight died, so... Oh, a nice pill from not from Capricorn, just from Yosemite onto Megan. With that Uber being used, both teams are going to use, and it looks like RGL Nice is going to be backing out with Arrow. Court is still in. Maybe he could get caught out. It looks like... Oh, he would have, but Regu was there to support him, and it looks like they're going to try to maybe reaggress? Honestly, I don't think reaggressing is the play here. They have the ground on you. A Market Garden going in. He doesn't quite get it, and he does go down. D-Score does take out Mailman, though. Rose coming in through Sewer, maybe gets K-Dub. No, not quite. 1 HP. Regu does come up and clean up the 1 health warrior. Yosemite coming in on the back burner, just with some of these stickies, cleaning up a little bit of the damage. And Zoe goes down as well, and once again, RGL on Ice is going to be recapping mid. It seems like that's all we've seen, is just teams recapping mid. definitely two really strong teams and really strong players, both DM and game sense wise, on both sides. We are going to be going in with the Uber. This time they did send the demo in with the Uber first and then finish on a scout, which is what you want to see, and it worked out very well for them. Yosemite getting the early kill onto K-Dub, another soldier coming in to clean up Megan. D-squared on to Zoe, I believe it was, and wiping here. If they can roll on to last year, just Mailman and K-Dub alive, they should be able to get this point, but K-Dub gets this, or not K-Dub, excuse me. Mailman gets the sticky kill onto Ragu, and they weren't able to be fast enough. They do have 35% Uber, so as long as they're able to keep the players alive here, although Arrow does take a pill straight to the side of the head. This could be the round, but so far we haven't really seen RGL and Ice be all that strong on their last pushes. They've been a little bit disjointed and maybe not Ubering the correct people at the correct times, but we'll see if that changes in this next push. They have their players alive. If they're able to keep them healthy, as soon as they get Uber, they need to go in. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. They're playing this a little bit more passively, and it looks like K-Dub is going to be wanting to use that Uber to try and push out of last. With 5 minutes left on the clock for the half, that could be the play. Or it looks like what they're wanting to do with this heavy and sitting in heaven is just kind of try and run down the clock here and reset after this half. Oh, Court getting onto Fizzy. That's the opening you need. But they're not in a position to actually go in. They're not set up in 1 or in IT. Clearing stickies now. It looks like they are going to be going in, but it might be a little bit too late. They do get 1 pick early on, and being able to get onto this heavy, just get onto the point. There aren't stickies there. They could get this, and they... As I was saying, they do exactly what they need to get a last push. They made their opening, and they actually went for it, and it worked very well for them. They all went in the right way, or went in the same way, coordinated, and they played that very well. That's a little dumb. I didn't get any notification for that sub, but thank you, Capricarius.
The control point is being contested. Alert. Our control point is being captured.
Looks like they're going to be... Okay, I actually completely missed that mid, but it looks like they're going to be coming in here super hard and fast. With the Uber, they're able to take out the heavy. They're actually playing this super well. Court is just a little bit behind. But if he comes in and... Wow! It's just Mailman left alive, but... What a round. It is currently 3-1 in favor of RGL on Ice. This is the decider map. So whoever wins this map wins the series. The score is currently 3-1 in favor of RGL on Ice. Wow, what a half, coming down right to the wire with only 2 minutes left to go. Let's actually take a look at logs for this half. Again, with some big damage numbers for RGL on Ice, a lot of players, 3 players just narrowly hitting that, or just narrowly missing, sorry, that, threshold of 300 DPM, 243, 296, 268, and then 219 on Ragu. Frags are definitely in their favor as well, 26 and 24 being on D-squared and Ragu. Yosemite also doing work as the demo man with 18 and with that 243 DPM. RGL and Ice did have 1 more Uber, although they did also drop once as well. Heals are pretty much evenly split the same way, although it seems like Zed favors their scout over their pocket soldier, which is totally fine. and in some cases could actually be better, although he does have more heals than D Squared does. In terms of med picks, there weren't a whole lot of those, although there are a lot of players who have gotten to 1 or 2, so they were spread out around the board quite well. There are some decent damage numbers. Zoe, again, just proving to be such an influential player, not only in this map, but in this matchup as a whole, whether he's on Soldier, rocking high 200s DPM, even getting into that 300 DPM threshold just a few times, but even on Sniper on Product, getting 400 DPM on one of the halves. So just all these players definitely pulling out all the stops. What happened? I'm not sure what happened here. Okay, that's a wee bit weird. But yeah, both of these teams are definitely proving why they have a playoff spot and why they have made it even to round 2. In terms of ranking, Zed is ranked 14th, while RGL and Ice is ranked 6th. But honestly, both of these teams are very, very evenly matched. Zed won their first playoff round against Baybot 2-1. RGL and Ice against the Bad Touch 2-0. They are now fighting for a semi-final spot going up against College War Crimes in round 3 of the playoffs. The other teams that are playing are Minus Rep and Household Objects, and I believe somebody did say how that match ended. I am not going to actually look through the chat, but they are going to be playing Krusty Migos in the other round 3 semifinal match. Okay, so Minus Rep is playing Krusty Migos next week. Well, actually, I guess it's this week, considering it's Sunday. But in the semifinals, fighting for a grand final spot. The loser of that match and the loser of both of the semifinal maps are going to be going in for the loser's bracket. For fighting for 3rd and 4th place. Although, you don't really fight for 4th, you kind of lose for 4th, but still, making it to the playoffs at all, and even making it to the loser's bracket, should be a huge accomplishment for a lot of these teams, as everybody in this division is new, and some of these players have definitely proven to be, maybe the future of TF2 competitive. Depending on how their next seasons go, a lot of these teams are probably going to be going up into amateur. I know, for last season, we had Sweaty Spaghetti, who was essentially the Froyotech of Newcomer. They did not drop a single map. They ended up taking the playoffs as well and winning that. They then went on into amateur and continued that sort of legacy and still did not drop a single... I want to say did not drop a single map throughout the entirety of that season. Yep, nope, they have not dropped a single map throughout the entirety of the season. They won all 8 of their matches. They've also won their playoffs round 1 and 2. So again, Sweaty Spaghetti, yep, being the Froyotech of Newcomer and then amateur. Looks like we are getting underway with this first round of the second half. Once again, I believe RGL and Ice is up 3-1 in this map. Again, this is the 3rd map, so whoever wins this gets their semi-final spot. Megan does get the early kill onto D Squared, and taking up this early high ground, as RGL and Ice has done in previous rounds, is going to give Zed a huge, massive advantage, and them playing this very well. Taking a page out of Ice's book, and actually being able to kind of use their own medicine against them and roll onto second after that wipe on mid. Definitely using that little bit of a halftime to kind of regroup a little bit and kind of get their ducks in a row. They are going to get second here, although K-Dub did die, so they're not going to immediately be able to just roll on to last, which is a little bit unfortunate, and Mailman... Oh, that's not going to be good, and that's going to be giving up second. and possibly even mid.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
Thanks, Doc.
We have captured the control point. Alert. The control point is being contested. We have lost the control point.
Sorry about that. Dum 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 da 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 dum. Okay, both teams are at a fairly even Uber here. Kato's being slightly behind, but again, 1% never means anything, and oftentimes even 15% means nothing, as well as teams take a little bit of time to kind of coordinate and organize a push, especially in Newcomer, but a nice bomb coming in from Zoe. It is going to force Arrow as he does just narrowly die, which is going to be exactly what they wanted. If the players of Zed are able to capitalize on this, G Squared and Rose going down as well. Both Baka and the Roamer are in behind, going to be able to get the back cap. And with nobody being behind for the side of RGL on ice, they could just book it to last and maybe get that last cap. But K-Dub Eru is going to go down. Yosemite very low as well. It looks like Baka is just going to be making a beeline for this last. He is going to go down to Rose. Maybe Baka should have picked up that health pack on the way past it. But still, almost getting the cap there. Megan absolutely flying, soaring a little bit there. Kinda just trying to set up for this hold. Now, Zed does have quite the Uber advantage over RGL on ice, but with Ragu on the engineer, that could slow things down just a little bit, and maybe just that little bit enough. With K-Dub now just closing in on 100% Uber, they are very quickly setting up for this Uber a lot more efficiently than we've seen RGL on ice do in the past. Coming with the Uber, that center gun is going to go down very, very soon. A lot of the players are grouped up on RGL ice in heaven. But with the way this is shaping up, both teams have 2 picks down. Zoe is in heaven. K-Dub trying to get some saws. And just the 2 players left alive. RGL on ice is going to be able to hold it. And with that wipe, they are going to get second as well.
The control point is being contested.
Oh, but Fizzy in Sewer could maybe take out Yosemite if he gets caught out and gets a little aggressive here. Either that, or he could just be sitting in Sewer here to try and go for a medic play. Maybe hope for a random crit and take out the entirety of the combo for RGL on ice. Looks like he is going to be going for bomb. They don't know he's coming, though. Is going to get 1 rocket onto Eru, but that's not going to be enough to take him out, as the scout did eat that first one. Starting at a wall here. Eru is going to be sitting on full Uber. K-Dub is closing in on it as well. But Arrow is just barely avoiding death. Baka is in behind, although this time we do have a player for RGL Nice going in to actually chase them down. Baka is going to go down as well. K-Dub has now got Uber as well, but with them being 2 players down, this is a good time for RGL and Ice to use in and push, taking a little bit too much time to take up that sticky trap. Court going in alone and not having any support because they just got slowed down and stopped by that sticky trap, and they're no longer going to be able to push. Although being able to milk out an Uber, it looks like Court did actually get the force onto K-Dub, and they're going to have to give up second. And it looks like Aru is going to end up using, if he may have actually been able to save that, and considering Zed had essentially given up second for free, although we have Fizzy coming up from behind. Although Zed had essentially given up second for free, I don't think Aru actually needed to use Uber there. He definitely 100% could have saved it for pushing into last. But maybe didn't quite read that correctly. As we know, looking on things from kind of a bird's eye perspective gives you more knowledge of kind of what's going on and allows you to know what's happening better. Plus, hindsight is 2020, so... and so is this year, and it's pretty crap. Yosemite and Mailman trying to exchange some pills here. Not actually exchanging any damage, although I think that may have been a blind debt onto Ragu, although it could not, or may not have been as well, considering where Mailman is now. Either way, Ragu went down, splutterized at the number 1 shutter. Oh, the surf's coming out from Aru, just narrowly avoiding death, rollers everywhere, sitting at 40 HP, catching some stray scattergun pellets, 23 health, anything could kill him, he's just gonna be backing out to try and get that health pack. Forget the team, I'm low health, I need a health pack, I don't want to die to stray damage. Fizzy does go down to Yosemite, which could be the opening they need to actually push. But we've seen that they haven't been the most coordinated. They do know where that sentry gun is. It's going to go down very soon. They're going to try and milk out this Uber as long as possible. Yosemite does bomb into the stray. Baka does get a nice headshot onto Court with the Uber coming out from K-Dub. Unless Yosemite is able to get some big kills, I don't think this is going to be the round here for RGL on Ice. Just Aru left alive. Looks like he is going to be able to escape. Unfortunate for on Ice.
Bonus ducks.
Thank you for the follow, Easy Rider. And Dr. Bobert, if you are new to the stream here for this match, this is Zed versus RGL on Ice. This is map 3 of round 2 of the Newcomer 6's playoffs for season 4. Both teams have currently won a map. We had Clear Cut, which RGL and Ice took 4-1. The next map was Product, with Zed taking 4-1 by the same scoreline. We are now on Process, our map 3, our decider map, and RGL on Ice is leading it 3-1. They only need another 2 rounds, and they have secured themselves a semi-final spot in the playoffs.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
Ooh, we're getting tired here. We're about 10 minutes through in this second half. Both teams are sitting at full Uber, so we don't... we could be seeing some aggression. Fizzy and Baka are in IT, though. The Rose is watching it as well. Both teams are playing this very well. Again, both of these are very, very strong teams. They definitely know what they're doing. Oh, excuse me. And that's evident considering the stream has been going for 2.5 hours now. Longest one I've had it. Bomb coming in from Zoe. He is going to get taken out by Ragu though, so it's not really going to mean much. That is the opening that RGL on Ice needs to push, but with Rose going down to Fizzy, that opening is really no longer there. So it looks like they are just going to let Zed get their spawners up, but with the kill onto Megan, although Court dies as well. So again, players equalizing, and no team really has an opening or a good time to go in for the other. This map is currently sitting at 3-1 in favor of RGL on Ice. I definitely need to get some overlays going or something. I just don't really know what I'm doing with that kind of stuff. Both teams are using Uber now. As the Uber fades, though, it looks like either team could come out on top, though. Although with Ragu in position and D-Square to take out both Baka and Megan, RGL and Ice is going to be coming out on top in this post-Uber. They're going to be going forward. Both scouts are running forward as well, with the medic not too far behind, and it looks like they are going to get second, but Fizzy gets Ragu. Fizzy getting in onto the point. He could maybe take out Arrow, and it looks like Arrow is going to go... No! Just narrowly able to avoid death. Oh, whoa. I am whoop-de-doo. Although Zoe is going to get a kill onto Rose, Eru does have an Uber advantage here, about 30%. So that is definitely enough to get a push going, but since they're not even holding IT, and I don't think we've actually really seen RGL and Ice hold IT at all, they aren't really going to be able to get a push going quickly. With Fizzy being down, it's now or never for this push to try and take a 4th round. It looks like they are going to go in. They use a little bit later. Baka is going to not go down as they just get their Uber up in time. RGL and Ice waited just a little bit too long to go in, and it looks like because of that, they're not actually going to be able to get the round. Although with 2 players down for these... Yeah, no. That heavy is just stuffing everybody. Just a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of indecisiveness, and there goes your opportunity to actually win the round. And the last of the players for RGL and Ice getting cleaned up as they were trapped in heaven. That is going to be the second point in control of Zed off of a little hesitation for that last push. "15 minutes down in the second half. Once again, RGL and Ice is leading the third map 3-1. So all they really need to do is run down another 15 minutes off the clock, although I don't really want them to do that because I've been here for too long already. But whatever happens, happens, right?
Alert. The control point is being contested.
Okay, RGL and Ice is going to get second, with Arrow being at 80% Uber and 3 players being down. They are going to get their spawners up for Zed, but at 96% Uber, as long as they don't drop players, and as long as they actually get in together, maybe go in through 2, or not 2, but 3, 4, maybe even 5. They need to go in together as a team, though. With Fizzy being down, as long as they go in now, they will get this round. But the hesitation, half their players are in, half of them aren't, and with Zoe being in behind, that's going to be Yosemite going down. They could still get this cap here, but with everybody being under the influence of Uber, okay, they do get it. a little bit disjointed, a little bit separated, but in the end, they did manage to pull off that round. They are now leading 4-1. They only need one more round in this map. Not just in this map, in this series, and they will have secured themselves a playoff spot. Please let this be over soon. No matter who wins or loses this, no team should be... Oh my gosh, what a bomb from Zoe. Unfortunately not getting what he needs, and really Zed just taking a page out of RGL and Ice's book here for these mids, playing them just like they were in the first half. Only being Yosemite left alive. He has no escape as he is on the blue side. He is probably going to die. He's just trying to make some time, and he does manage to take out Fizzy with him. No matter which way this match goes, this map goes, the series goes, both of these teams should be very proud of themselves. Honestly, this could have been either team coming out on top, and it could still be either team coming out on top. So, we'll have to see what happens. But man, do I just want this to be over. Oh, one man can only take so much. Court is going to take out Fizzy again. Both teams are at full Uber, stalemating here in this second to mid choke point. We have seen this so many times. It is 4-1 in favor of RGL on ice. This is the decider map, so whoever takes this, it takes the rest of the match. Okay, finally a team breaks the stalemate. It is going to be Zed using in first again, obviously. Arrow to follow up with the Uber. As long as Megan dies here, RGL and Ice is going to come out on top in this post Uber. Megan is going to die. And with Ragu hopefully being able to stay alive, they do have Rose all the way behind them on the second point here, taking out the demo and the medic together along with Ragu. If Fizzy dies as well without being able to take out anybody, and that is the full wipe, RGL Nice is going to get second off of this as well. They do have 50% Uber. They're probably going to be coming out on top with about a 60%, okay, not a 60%, about a 50% Uber advantage, which is quite a bit. So again, if they are able to decisively and coordinatedly, if they are able to make this push quick and coordinated after they get Uber, which they have Uber and they're starting to let their advantage dwindle, Megan is on the sniper. You don't want to give her a chance to get a shot. I'm kind of surprised that RGL on Ice has not been holding lobby at all. They do still have time to go in for this Uber. If they go in now and take out K-Dub, the Uber won't come back. As long as they can get the Heavy, who's going to be the big target, that's going to be really important. With the, the soldiers coming in, this is an all-out fight. And RGL on Ice is going to take the map, taking the series. Wow. Definitely no hard feelings from either teams. Again, this was such a back and forth matchup that genuinely could have went either way no matter what. Like, this map could have genuinely went either way. What a match and what a night. So, I expected this to be a close match. I definitely did. If the standings themselves are anything to go off of, you could have expected RGL on Ice to win. But, again, at this level, once you've made it to a playoff spot, the standings don't really mean anything because you are the strongest teams in the league. What a match. I don't really have any words. I mean, we had insane plays coming out from both teams. There was that, really, product. Snipers, Ragu and Zoe just absolutely popping off. Some pyro plays from Baka. Some crazy flank plays from Baka. Both of these teams and all the players associated with them definitely have a future in TF2 competitive. This is the future of our league. This is the future of our game. And man, right now, does it look like it's a bright one. Both teams put up one hell of a fight. RGL on Ice taking it in the end, taking both Clear Cut and Process. They are now off into the semifinals to play against College War Crimes, another very, very strong team who currently has not dropped a single map in the playoffs. So that's going to be quite a match as well. And RGL on Ice is going to have their work cut out for them. So if you are new to my streams at all, if you are interested into the previous streams or casts I've done, you can head over to my YouTube channel via the link in chat right now. As the chat says, this is the ever-growing playlist of Derpcast's VODs. Here you will find casts all the way back to week 2 of the playoffs. I tried to do a week 1 cast, but unfortunately that match didn't end up getting played, so we started at week 2. If you are interested in the kind of community here, and with a lot of the top teams, it definitely seems like a lot of these players and teams have become quite close to each other. You can head over to the Derpcast's Discord found in chat and kind of join the community here. A lot of the top teams, they're not even the top teams, but just newcomer teams, period, are in this Discord channel. It also serves as a way for me to get information about my casts out to my audience, whether that be what teams are playing, when casts are starting, what's going on, if a cast dies, that sort of thing. So with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope y'all had a great time. I know I did. It was a long one, but man, was it a good one. Well done to both teams tonight. You guys definitely played your hearts out. Congratulations to RGL on Ice for getting it into the semifinals, and not congratulations, good luck to RGL on Ice in your semifinal match. I probably will end up casting both the semifinals and then the grand finals, depending on when they are played. But yeah. With all that being said, I hope y'all had a great night tonight, enjoyed the match watching, and look forward to the next matches, because I am sure they are going to be even better. I hope y'all have a great night, I hope y'all enjoyed the match, and I will see you in the next cast. Good night, y'all.